What is up, YouTube? What's up, what's up, everybody else? My name's Rookzer, and look, I'm on the Daytona. Oh, it feels so good to be back on the Daytona after all the bullshit. Oh, it's so stupid. I'll explain what all was wrong with her after this light. That was bumpy. Alright, so what was wrong with the Daytona? Where do I start? In 2019, I lost the detent arm return spring, and that made it hard for me to find neutral. And for those of you who are looking for diagnostic help and stuff on your 2014 or 3rd gen Triumph Daytona 675 and possibly 675R, here's some help. So I had some issues with it shifting. The shifting felt weird. I had a false neutral between 3rd and 4th. Like whenever I was downshifting, I would downshift to 3rd and it would just find a neutral. And it was weird. It wasn't under acceleration, it was always under deceleration. And then also had an issue with it not wanting to like idle or maintain speed or accelerate, does it? And what I would do, like I'd be going like this and I'd go to accelerate and it would just and it would want to die or stall or whatever you want to call it. Ooh, that was rough. So there are two different problems there. One of the issues with the shifting, I'll start with that. The shifting, it was a detent arm return spring that decided to go away, like way far away. It got ground up in the motor and spit out. That caused the detent wheel to wear out and grind down prematurely. It also caused the detent plate to mess up. Or like grind down and everything. Inevitably it caused a few other issues with detent parts. Now to replace the detent arm return spring, you have to take that case off right there, which is where you fill the oil up, and it's where the clutch is and all that other stuff. You have to take the clutch cover off, you have to take clutches out, you have to take the clutch baskets out, which is a pain all in of itself. Then you have to go over here, take the shifter off and the shifter arms and the little shifter little thingy that's attached to. You have to take all that off and then ever so slightly pull the shifter rod out that way to the right side of the bike, and then change your parts. Replace the detent arm return spring, replace the detent plate, replace the detent wheel, and if you're feeling frisky, replace a few other items while you're in there. Might as well, since they're kind of there. You're already there, might as well make a lot of stuff new. So be careful when you're taking off the inner basket, because I actually broke mine. That was fun. While I was at it, I put a new back tire on. I need a new front tire. I put a front sprocket, a rear sprocket, new chain, new brakes, front and rear. So that fixed the detent or the shifting issue. Okay. Now the issue with it running, like the temperature gauge would just sit there and flash. Sometimes it would go out, and I'd have no indication of my temperature gauge. And then at that same time, it just wanted to stall out under acceleration. It would just, engine would shut off, and then it would have a hard time trying to restart. What was happening there was it was going into limp mode, so that you couldn't over rev the engine or anything like that, and you would have to, you know, call a ride or wait for it to cool down. Oh, another thing that the bike would do, which I don't know why it would do it, but it would have a high idle, and it was hard to find idle whenever it was going through the whole temperature sensor thing. What was happening was it wasn't overheating, because I was good on coolant, everything was good, even though I do need to do a coolant flush. If y'all want me to do a video on that, let me know in the comments below. Ended up, I had to replace the coolant temperature sensor, which is in a bullshit spot on this bike. It is, to properly do it, you take the seat off, the driver's seat, you take the tank, tilt it back, take the airbox off, take the throttle bodies off, take the throttle bodies off, and then you can get to it. Oh, I have a buddy. So once you take the throttle bodies off, you can get to it. The way I did it was I had a little crow's foot, I think 19 millimeter or 3/4 inch. And then I had an extension that long, a little 1-inch ratchet extension. Where'd it go? Oh, hey. That's a nice, but wow, I like that color. Okay, it's showtime. So anyway, I had a little 3/4 inch crow's foot, 19 millimeter, it's the same thing. And the extension like this and a 3/4 inch, or and a 3/8 drive ratchet. And it took me 30 minutes to get it off. It's underneath. You can get to it from the right side of the bike. It's underneath the right 2 throttle bodies. So I replaced that, put everything back together. You might lose a couple drops of maybe a tablespoon of coolant, but it's not enough to really cause any issues. I replaced that, everything's running fine. I had a little issue earlier today with like under just regular, it was kind of like it was wanting to shift. It thought I was putting input into the shifter because I have a Bazzaz quick shifter. So I don't know if I need to program that or not. Any Triumph gurus out there, Daytona gurus, if you wouldn't mind leaving me a comment, letting me know whether or not I should have or should still program the quick shifter, please let me know. Also, for all you Triumph people out there, for all you Daytona people, I have an app. It was about 12 bucks. I almost said 12,000. It was 12 bucks, Tune ECU. A lot of people recommend against it, but if you're just doing diagnostic stuff like me, I'm not planning on doing any remaps. You get that and the OBD LX Plus or MX Plus. I'll put a link to the one that I got in the description of the video. I got it off of Amazon. The OBD2 Bluetooth was 60 bucks roughly. It's from OBD Link and it worked fine. You got the Kyoko for 3rd gen Daytona 675. You have the Kyoko ECU, which I don't know, it just depends on it's where that was made. Oh, is he going to have some fun? Looks like it. Oh shit. Traffic. You ever feel like you got something stuck in your throat, but you don't? And then you cough so hard that your tongue cramps? Just breathe. All I need to do is breathe. But other than the repairs and stuff that I've had to do to the bike, I mean, it was frustrating for a while not being able to get on, you know, only having the Grom to ride, because I tell everybody, you know, I work with a lot of people that see motorcycle stuff and parts every day, and I work with a lot of riders, and I work with a lot of people that want to ride, and I'll ride the Grom and they're like, man, that's a cool looking bike, it looks fun, and blah blah blah, and they're like, yeah, you know, it'd be great to get one of those as a first bike because it's not super expensive. Sorry, there's somebody trying to keep up with me. Anyway, so he thinks he still can. Let's see if he can do it after this. Alright, kids, don't try that at home. They're like, yeah, I should get a bike, you know, I should get a Grom to learn on, or like one of the knockoffs or something like that. I should learn to ride on one of those. And I look at them, I'm like, no, it's not a good, you know, primary bike. Yeah, it's a great bike to learn on, but is it a good bike to grow on? No, it is not. Primarily because, just like what people say with 250s and everything, oh, you outgrow it in like 6 months. yeah, a Grom you'll outgrow in a few months and you'll be tired of it running into, you know, people on big bikes like mine, and you can't keep up with them because sometimes they want to go fast. A Grom as a first and primary bike, no, not recommended. But a Grom is a secondary bike, one that you can, because like I tell everybody here, they ask me, well, what is a Grom good for? Why do you have that if you've got a big bike? Like, hey, it's a good bike so I can still ride whenever, you know, so I have two bikes is always good because you've got one to ride while the other one's down, or, you know, you're letting the other one take a break. The Grom is good for around the town hood rat shit. That's what I tell everybody. Like, if I want to go around, just putt around town, do a couple wheelies, maybe go on a sidewalk in an alley or something, then it's good for that. But if I want to go like on the interstate, if you buy a Grom in Kentucky or a 125cc bike like that, you sign a paper saying that you will not operate it on the interstate. From the factory, the Grom tops out at roughly 55-60 mile an hour, and advertised 55 if I'm not mistaken. You have 9 horsepower. Now mine, I have topped out under its own power, no wind in my favor, no wind against me, on flat interstate, because, you know, yeah, I have topped it out at 72 mile an hour under its own power. I believe I was drafting. So the Grom is not a good bike to have as a primary or only bike, unless you don't have far to go to work, you don't have to take a lot of stuff to work or anything like that, and you can just, you don't plan on going on any fast rides or long rides. Oh, why are there brake lights? Oh, I will say this, I appreciate all the new people coming by. I've had a lot of my videos going into compilation channels lately. It's been really nice because, no, I want up here because there's a state trooper and I don't like state troopers. But it's been really nice because while I haven't been putting up a whole lot of videos, which I apologize, you know, I'm sorry I haven't been putting a lot up. I've been really busy with family and work. I got over 2,000 subscribers. So thanks guys, appreciate it. Oh, I can smell the brakes. Oh, another thing I did, I forgot to tell y'all, while I was working on the Daytona, I did the fork seals, and I think I overfilled the forks because like everything is at its softest setting. It's a little rough, so I'm gonna have to drain the forks and redo the fluid. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, see right there, it's still doing it. I don't know what that is because my foot's not on the shifter. Little bitty pecker. Okay, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Shoo, shoo, go, 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 go. Wow, those are huge.